Hello and welcome. You're watching Tigray television, coming to you live from Maqala. I'm Lalan Tijanu's today's news. Experts at the Ethiopian Pharmaceutical Supply Agency, Maqala branch, say that medical supplies have started entering Tigray, but the amount is insignificant as compared to the demand on the ground. Abraham Gabritensaya has more.
Goitom Gorobaskal is coordinator of pharmaceutical store at the Ethiopian Pharmaceutical Supply Agency, Maqala branch, and he says his agency has received 3 trucks of medical supplies so far, but it's not enough to accommodate thousands of patients who are in dire need of medicine, and essential supplies are still out of reach.
Around
3 trucks of medical supplies have arrived so far. Vaccines have also arrived by planes today. Essential supplies for HIV, TB, family planning and malaria have arrived, but the problem is they are not enough to cover the demands on the ground. Based on our conversation with the main office, initial stocks have begun to come. I can say it is better than before, but we still need much more supplies.
Another expert at the agency, Waldegergus Biraga, a forecasting expert, also says essential medical supplies for chronic illnesses such as cancer, diabetes and hypertension have not yet arrived, and patients are suffering today despite the arrival of some basic medical supplies recently.
Medical supplies should come continuously and in full amount. TB medicine has started to come in small amount. Only 5 of the 4 needed items have come so far. But medicines for chronic illness such as cancer, diabetes and hypertension are still inaccessible. We will keep our communication with the federal authorities to send us the necessary medical items with sufficient amount. Patients suffering from cancer and diabetes will die soon unless the most needed supplies arrive fast.
Hewan Samara, deputy head of the Ethiopian Pharmaceutical Supply Agency, Maqala branch, on her part says health institutions across Tigray have been out of service as the agency had run out of essential medical supplies.
We have had numerous problems because we are out of stocks. This means health institutions wouldn't provide services. There haven't been medical supplies for the past 2 years, and patients across Tigray, including children, women, and the elderly, have suffered a lot.
It is to be recalled that the World Health Organization stated last week that the peace agreement between the Ethiopian government and the Tigray government authorities has not yet resulted in unfettered access to humanitarian supplies as promised, and the amount of medicine arriving Tigray is not enough compared to the massive demand on the ground.
The agreement should be implemented in full, and as Mike said, of course there are some food aid and medicine being delivered, but unfettered access is what we expect because the need is massive.
Among the many impacted by the siege, disabled people were the ones highly affected. Their sufferings worsened, coupled with their disability. IDPs with disability sheltered in different repurposed IDPs, centers in Maqala had a stay with Tigray television on the matter. Haile Gabru reports.
Internally displaced persons with disabilities, the most vulnerable segment of the society, are among millions of Tigrayans displaced from different parts of the region following the start of the war in Tigray.
I was
a 4-year student at Maqala University School of Law before the war broke out in Tigray. However, now I'm leading a meaningless life due to the existing situation.
I used to live with my 2 siblings and they used to take care of me. But now I am abandoned because they joined the Tigray army after they had seen the atrocities being committed on their people.
The displaced IDPs also added that they could not be able to get in touch with their missing family members due to the communication blackout that is still continuing despite the truce signed between the governments of Tigray and Ethiopia on 2nd November in Pretoria, South Africa.
I am from around Shiraro, northwestern Tigray. The outbreak of the war, I can't get the chance to meet my parents. I really miss them so much. There is nothing I can do about it. There are many disabled people here who can't afford handy materials by themselves. They need to walk and they are getting damaged. So we call for the international community to put pressure so that this suffering would end soon. We are excited to hear about the peace agreement reached, and we wish it would be implemented in the ground properly.
Moreover, the IDPs with disabilities also called on the international community to let the peace agreement into effect, so disabled people would be benefited from it.
The international community must demonstrate its commitment and realization of the peace process taking place in Ethiopia.
ካብ ምፍራም ሓሊፉ ትዘሎ ኩነታት እውን ነዚ ጉዳይ እዚ ዘሳልጡ ዘሎ ኩሉ defeat ብምግባር
I call for the international community and the parties involved in the peace agreement so that they should put pressure in facilitating the implementation of the agreement on the ground and help the disabled Tigrayans along with the rest of IDPs in their daily life. I wish that the IDPs from Tigray would get the proper treatment they deserve and get back into their normal life.
The worldwide team for International Day of Persons with Disabilities held on 3rd November 2022 is Transformative Solutions for Inclusive Development, while Tigray has celebrated the day with a theme of its own, safety and healing for people with disabilities. Head for Bureau of Societal Improvement and Gender Equality, Gannet Arrafa says the past years, atrocities committed on people with disabilities had been wide range and called for immediate action to stop the violence and open the road for healing.
All atrocities committed need immediate response. Creating ground for physical and mental healing is essential. It is in line with our theme this year, and all bodies must work to achieve this.
Displaced children from Western Tigray sheltered in Abiy are among the children hurt physically and psychologically by the genocidal war in Tigray. The children are displaced twice from their homes and leaving their parents and loved ones behind. Now they are under grief with starvation and longing. For more, Aragay.
The 2 years long devastating war on Tigray has seen more than 2 million internally displaced persons, most of whom are women and children. Displaced children that are currently sheltered at Abiy IDP camp say the signed peace agreement between the Ethiopian and Tigray governments has given them hope to meet with missing family members.
I am glad that peace agreement is reached between Ethiopia and Tigray because I am living here all by myself, as my father is arrested and my mother is killed by the enemy troops. I displaced and traveled all the way alone. First I was displaced from Adabai to Hizat. Then I was displaced for the second time from Hizat to Abiy. The only clothes I have is the one that I am wearing now, and it doesn't protect me from the cold during the night time. I am really suffering here.
At first we were displaced to Shira, then we got displaced here to Abiy for the second time. My mother died at Shira, and my father was living at Shira before we were separated. I came here all by myself. We used to live at Dedebit IDP camp, but due to the continuous drone attacks, we were forced to be displaced to another IDP camp at Salakhlakhan near the city of Shira. Finally, we were displaced to this IDP camp at Abiy. I'm living here along with my brother, but I have no idea on whereabouts of my mother or my father.
The children also call for the immediate implementation of the signed peace deal, so they would return home safely and continue their education.
I'm hoping to return back home and continue my education soon. If the signed peace agreement is implemented soon, I wish to return home and continue my education so I could be able to contribute to my country.
Today, the world is celebrating Human Rights Day under the theme of dignity, freedom, and justice for all. However, children IDPs in Tigray are still ironically forced to live under lack of dignity, freedom, and justice.
Teachers in Tigray say that they are in dire conditions as they have not been paid for more than 17 months now. The teachers also added that they have not received any payments even after the peace agreement was signed in South Africa, Pretoria. Avragay reports.
Tadele and Kiflom are teachers in Hagar Salam, southeastern zone of Tigray. They say that they are leading miserable life as they have not been paid for 17 months and counting. The teachers added that their lives and the lives of their family members are on the brink as the only source of their income, their salary, is out of reach, even 40 days after the Pretoria peace agreement.
You can say that we are living a life. We have been out of salary for about 17 months now. and we are in a dire situation. This is true for all civil servants in Tigray. Without salary, the whole family falls at risk. Many have died of hunger, and thousands are suffering. The chance of borrowing from here to there has been inaccessible as sources have been exhausted.
ማለት ሰላም ካብ ዝበሃል ዳርጋ ወርሕን ገይሩ እዩ
It has been more than a month since the peace agreement was signed in South Africa, but little has been implemented on the ground. Banks are still shut down, and we haven't received our salaries. It is impossible to continue like this. We are about to perish.
The teachers also expressed their strong desire for the peace deal to be fully implemented so that they would go back to school and continue their share in the country's development and at the same time improve their living.
Schools have been destroyed and students have been idle for so long. I hope school will resume very soon so that we would continue our teaching and learning activities. I can't wait for that.
ስለ ሰላም ንኩሉ መሰረታዊ ነገር ሰላም ድሕር ዘይሉ ድማ ኩሉ ነገር ክህለ ይኽእል
Peace is the basis for everything. I am hopeful that the peace deal will be implemented and I will go back to school and continue my teaching career and improve the lives of my family. I look forward to giving what my country demands from me and helping my students to become productive citizens.
Reports from Tigray Regional Education Bureau revealed that there were 46,598 active teachers and school principals before the war. All this education personnel and the family members who were dependent on them have been on the verge for the last 17 months, as the school personnel have not been paid for more than a year and a half.
That's it for this edition. Also, you can check out for more details, our website. Thanks for watching.